Hi there, this is Raj here. Friends, this video is going to cover three tickers that are very popular with our audience. The first one is Crispr Therapeutics, the second one is Illumina, and the third one is going to be Gingko Bioworks. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. We are here in the TradingView platform, and we're looking at a chart for Crispr Therapeutics. Each of the candle happens to be a one-day candle. And friends, if you recollect in the past, we had drawn this regression channel, and we said we'll be moving inside this regression channel. And the best way to happen for Crispr would be to break out on the upside. It sure did break out, and then it came back in again, went back out again, and came back in. But during this process, we identified a head and shoulder pattern. And this head and shoulder pattern had a target, which we said would take Crispr Therapeutics all the way up to $40.98. Right now, we seem to be moving in that direction. And the formation out here, all of you would be familiar, is a bear flag. So we have this flagpole coming down here, and then we have the flag out here, and now the downward movement has already started. So if you take the measure of the flagpole from here to here and extrapolate it from the break point, then that should take us somewhere close to around $47 or $48, something in that range, which will also coincide with this diagonal line of support that we have out here. And that is what I can see in the very near future. All this movement could happen over a period of time or very quickly, depending on how the overall market moves. If there's a sudden drop in the market, which is quite possible, because if you see, NVIDIA has dropped significantly, and the news from Alibaba that they have a chip that is pretty good for AI, both of them together seems to give a feel that probably the same thing like we had in DeepSeek, the same phenomenon might happen to the index when we open on Tuesday. If that happens, the movement down would be very fast. If that doesn't happen, then we would probably create a couple of bear flags and execute those bear flags and slowly proceed downwards toward this diagonal line of support. And depending on how long it takes, it could either be this diagonal line of support that's going to be a support, or it could be this horizontal line of support at 46.45 that might end up being a support. And if you look at the supporting items out here, you see that the overall market sentiment for Crispr Therapeutics is bearish. MACD is also very bearish. Signal line is, MACD is moving away from the signal line. And we have momentum which is below average and quickly dropping. That shows a lack of interest. And also you have this center point of this regression channel, which is going to attract it like a magnet. So that's what I have for Crispr Therapeutics. And I would like to hear from you what you think about this in the comment section, please. Next, let us go on to Illumina. Illumina is riding a bull channel. However, I have some bad news out here. I can see the beginnings of what I would call as, let me open a particular tool that I want. This is the tool I want. This is the pattern that I'm starting to see emerge. I want to get a feedback from you guys. Do you see it happening? And if you see it happening, this head and shoulder pattern needs to break through this diagonal line of support in order to get triggered. And the trigger point for this is going to be, in my opinion, somewhere out here. So if we have the price fall below this diagonal line of support, and if it falls below this, then it would be triggered, and that could be a pretty big fall. And Illumina's fortunes are to an extent also tied up with what happens to it in China. Right now, they are blacklisted. And if the trade war tensions go further up, and the recent meetings happening in China were to embolden China to make further steps, and if Illumina gets caught in those, then probably we might see a little bit of movement downwards for Illumina. Otherwise, overall, the company is pretty good. And if the overall market falls, that could also take Illumina down. So we are at a very crucial inflection point for Illumina, and we'll have to see what happens on Tuesday. So we are in a risky position. Everything being normal, I think we'll continue traveling on this diagonal line of support, and our resistance would end up being 103.55, and our support on Tuesday could be 98.32. However, if the overall market gives in, then Illumina is also likely to come down. Once it breaks down this diagonal line of support, then all bets are off. Okay, now let's go on to the third one, which is Gingko Bioworks. We were looking at Gingko Bioworks. As you know, I have bought a little bit of stock on Gingko Bioworks with the expectation that we would have a higher target based on this bull flag pattern. And we had also drawn this diagonal line of support with multiple touch points out here. And it definitely supported the bull flag. And instead of it falling down further, as it had done in the past few weeks, it continued to travel on this bull flag. So the question now is that even though we are broken out of this bull flag, are we going to break up? Are we going to end up closing above this bull flag and confirming this bullish support line, which is the top part of the flag? And if we do that, then we have the option to travel along this bull channel, create new bull flags, and go and meet our target, which is so the target is around 19.24. So that's what I'm looking at for Gingko Bioworks. And if we manage to go there, I would make a decent profit. So I've actually put my money into it. And friends, as you know, I'm a retail investor like yourself. I'm sharing my technical analysis, the idea that we form a retail investor community, and you guys can participate in the comment section below and share your thoughts with me. And that way we'll become collectively a really good retail investment community and improve our winning odds in the market. So that brings me to an end of this video today, my friends. And I would like to catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.